welcome to Ottawa Experts. I'm your host, Barbara Balfour. Well, it may not seem like it, but believe it or not, spring really is just around the corner. And what that means for most of us is that we're about to embark on a major spring cleaning. Now, if you're overwhelmed with clutter in your life, your basement, anywhere in your home, if you find yourself often staying in toxic relationships because it's easier than leaving, or you find yourself drifting farther and farther away from your goals, this is the show for you. I am so pleased to welcome our panel of fantastic guests tonight. They'll be teaching us everything from decorating your home on a budget to decluttering your basement and streamlining your emotional health and wellness. First, I'm delighted to welcome internationally award-winning designer Sue Pitchforth of Decor Therapy Plus. She helps homeowners bring out their personality in their homes without breaking the bank. Welcome to the show, Sue.
Thanks, Barbara.
Next, we are joined by Kathy Mcewan, professional organizer and productivity expert. She's also the owner of Second Set of Hands. Thank you so much for joining us, Kathy.
Thank you.
Later on in the show, we're going to be joined by wellness coach and personal trainer Lydia DiFrancesco. She owns Fit and Healthy 365 and helps women get physically and mentally strong by reducing the stress and overwhelm in their lives. So make sure that you stick around for that. As always, if you have any questions you'd like to ask our guests, please call 613-728-1001. We're always delighted to hear from you. Now, Sue and Kathy, you've both brought some props into the studio today, some interesting things to show our viewers that you don't need a huge budget or a lot of time to see tangible changes in our lives. Let's start with you, Sue. What have you got here?
Sure. Again, you don't have to spend a lot of money, as you mentioned, Barbara. And these products here, for homeowners, spray paint really makes a huge difference. Paint is the easiest way to transform your space, to transform your item. And I really like using these type of spray paints. You can actually hide the brass around your fireplace surround. It takes 10 minutes. You tape off the brass with green tape and you spray it. You could use this one here, the darker matte color, heat resistant. And this one is really great because it's stainless steel. And what I like to do with this is take old air vents, heating vents, and cooling vents in the house, take them in the garage and spray them all. So really, I did it in my home and it took me 2 cans of paint and they look brand new, and I spent $10.
Now, why would you use spray paint as opposed to regular paint with a roller and a brush?
Spray paint, the spray paints that are out there right now, they adhere really well. They're very durable, and a lot of them actually have texture, so you really can add some interest. And when you brush something, some metal or that type of product with paint, you can actually see the brushes and see the rollers. So really, spray paint adheres to anything. Wood, ceramic, cement, countertops, anything. It's pretty amazing.
Where can you buy it?
So you can buy spray paint any big box store, Canadian Tire, Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, and I guarantee you that if you go into the spray paint section, you're going to be surprised. There's so many different types of treatments. There's chalk, spray paint, there's mirrored, glow in the dark. So you can have a lot of fun creating something different from something that you already have.
Now, you sent us some interesting photographs, some before and after photographs of a kitchen in particular.
Yes.
Was that spray painted?
That actually was painted, but with special cabinet paint.
Okay,
here's
so this
the
is the before.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as you see, most homeowners have this type of kitchen. It's dated. The homeowners here loved everything else about their kitchen except the actual color of the cupboards. And so what we did was we painted it a beautiful dark wenge from Benjamin Moore.
Modernized it.
Yeah. And they actually painted it with a cabinet paint. It took them 2 weekends and it looks amazing.
Wow.
So really what we also did, we actually kept the same type of handles. Usually I change out the handles to even make it more of an update. But as you can see, it doesn't even look like the same kitchen.
And how long did it take to do this?
It took them 2 weekends. So you could either do it yourself. You really don't need any special skill. You really do need patience. Or you can have someone come in. You can have a painter come in and airbrush it. I actually had that done to my kitchen. I had a guy come in and he took the cupboards away. And then
he brought them back.
And then he brought them back.
Interesting. And ballpark cost?
So anywhere from, I'd say, $3,500 to $6,500. Just depends on the size of the kitchen.
And if you do it yourself?
If you do it yourself, it's about $220.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's obviously some appeal there.
Absolutely.
I'm also intrigued by a product that you had that involves remaking your fireplace.
Yes.
And you also sent us some before and after photos of the fireplace. Maybe we can pull those up there as well. So here is this the before?
That is the,
this is the before. Okay.
So actually, I just moved to Ottawa in the summer, and this is my very sad-looking fireplace in my basement in the before. And
it's very minimalist. I wouldn't say
it
sad.
is, yeah. So it really gave me an opportunity to think about what I wanted to do with it. And I was out and about in the stores, and I saw some peel and stick wallpaper. So I picked up a couple rolls, and basically I think most of us think of peel and stick and we think MacTac, where once you put it on, it stays forever.
It looks like the real deal.
It does. It's amazing. And if I get tired of it,
real deal.
If I get tired of it, I can just peel it right off. It's not going to damage the wall, but it really gives you that look of the reclaimed wood, and it's about $40 a roll.
Did you bring us some to show us today? So that's what you would just peel off, and
that's what you would just peel off. So really, it just gives you the look without spending a ton of money, and I love it. And I actually had enough wallpaper left over that I did a little wall in my closet, and then I did the back wall of my two-piece washroom.
Wow.
So it really goes far. Surprising. And again, no special skill. All you need is a little bit of patience and a ruler and pencil and scissors, and that's it.
And again, it's around $50. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, Kathy, your clients come to you with issues that take a lot more than a little bit of spray paint or pillows to address. So you are mostly a declutter expert. Tell me a little bit about the origins of clutter. Like, how do people come up with so much stuff that it just overwhelms their lives?
Well, it's actually, you would probably, some people believe that it's because people are just lazy and they just don't feel like picking up after themselves, but that's usually not the case. So if somebody has a lot of clutter and chronically disorganized, then they often are suffering from depression, or they've had some kind of trauma in their life. They could have health issues. There's often many different, brain injuries is another one, that if they don't have the ability to tidy up and clean, both physically and mentally, then things just start to pile up.
Is clutter caused by depression, or does depression cause clutter, or is it kind of a vicious circle?
It is a vicious circle. There's no real cause, because I can't say that everybody who has depression has clutter. So, but it's definitely when there's a client that has a lot of clutter in their house, they do become overwhelmed, sometimes have anxiety, they get depressed about it. So it is kind of like a catch-22. The more clutter you have, the more depressed you can be, and if you are depressed, you could have a lot of clutter as well.
Are there different types of clutter that you see?
Yes, and it really depends. Now, sometimes I might go into a home where they have a lot of, like, not quite to the extreme of the hoarding shows, because that's a very high level extreme hoarding, but where you can hardly walk into their home. So they just have way too much stuff, and they're keeping just about anything. But then you could have a busy mom that just doesn't have time to tidy up their toys, and their kids are getting more toys at Christmas, birthdays, and family members are buying them toys, so it's really adding up, and then they become overwhelmed with so much stuff in their house as well.
Are there certain things that people are particularly guilty of accumulating over time? Do you see patterns when you go from home to home?
I do. You would probably not believe it, but one of the things I see a lot, which surprises a lot of people, is bags. So there's some people who collect books and they have a lot of books, and there's other people that collect other things. Paper, piles of paper is very common as well. But bags is something that I was surprised at when I first started doing the business. It's because
you mean like grocery bags?
Grocery bags, shopping bags, every type of bags you can imagine.
So like containers, really.
So they're bags of bags, is what it is. So like even the grocery bags that you go to get your groceries, you know, they're like $1, the plastic ones that you can buy. Well, I have some clients that have those bags full of those grocery bags, and then plastic bags. After a while, they start to actually disintegrate into pieces. So sometimes I will actually pick up somebody's bag and it's all falling apart.
That's happened to me, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, so I always try to suggest not storing your stuff in bags at all if you can. But yeah.
We have a couple minutes left before the end of this segment. Let's talk a little bit about some of the props you brought in today to help your clients kind of take control of the clutter.
Sure. So these two products here are a way of storing your items, and this is a very low cost one. They are, what I love about these is they're clear.
Yes.
You can label them as well, which I did with my label maker.
Do you believe in out of sight, out of mind?
Yes, if you can't see it or if you can't find it, you're going to forget about it, or you're going to go to your store and buy another one because you can't find it.
Yeah.
This one here, sometimes clients want something a little bit more decorative, so if that's the case, something like this is nice, but then I always say label it as anyway. So right here I mark down cards because this is a box of cards, but as long as there's some type of label on it, then they'll remember, they might remember what's in it, but otherwise I find boxes of containers, nice baskets, they're beautiful, but they have no idea what's in them because they've been just shoving stuff into it, right? Yeah.
So the common thing that these two containers have is one is completely clear and see-through, and the other one doesn't have a lid, so it's you can really easily kind of go through it and see what you've got there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And the labels you can just make on your own, stick a sticky note on it.
Yeah, sticky notes I don't usually recommend because they fall off.
Yeah.
But if you use a labeler, you can buy like a Brother labeler. They're very handy, easy to use.
I'm guessing, Kathy, that you're not a big believer in organized chaos.
Not really. Not really. I don't think that you want to be in any type of chaotic state. So the more simplistic your life is, it's much easier for you.
There's some people who say, yeah, I know my office is a big mess, but I know where everything is. I think I'm slightly like that. Do you think that's a cop-out? Or, I mean, is there a balance between that? I mean, some people just function better in a surrounding that's not completely stark and minimalist.
That is so true. That is very true, and I don't believe that everybody should be a minimalist at all. Like, it really depends on each individual, and if you work better having your desk with stuff all over, that's probably because you are the type that need to be able to see it. You're afraid if you file it, you're going to forget it. So there's some people that do need to have things out, and that's fine too. So when I work with clients, I find out what system works best for them, and not everybody is the same. So not everybody has a clear desk. Myself, I like to have my desk completely cleared by the time I leave my office, but other people don't, and that's okay. Whatever works for you.
Kathy, I'm so excited to see some of the other gadgets that you've got to show our viewers what they can use to get more organized in our lives. And Sue, I want to hear more about some of your tips and techniques for beautifying the space. We're just about to go to break, but when we come back, we have lots more. We'll be right back.
The following program is brought to you by Rogers Anyplace TV. Enjoy exclusive content for free. Visit RogersAnyplaceTV.com.
Uninterrupted coverage of speeches from Ottawa's business leaders, visionaries, and social figures. Watch new episodes of Podium at its new time, Tuesdays at 9:30 p.m., exclusively on Rogers TV.
With NHL Center Ice, you get a premium ticket to the games you want every night of the season. With up to 37 out-of-market games a week to choose from, you'll get more goals, more saves, more non-stop action from the teams you love. NHL Center Ice, part of the Super Sports Pack. For only $35.95 a month, Rogers customers get all this. Order through your remote or call 1-888-ROGERS-1 today.
And hi once again, my name is Dylan Black with an invite to join us. Another edition of Daytime Ottawa rolls your way Thursday, live at 1 with repeats at 6 and 11. We have two amazing musicians joining us for this episode. They'll be performing. Tim Bender and Norman Glode will be here. As well, the Ottawa Little Theatre has partnered up with Options by Town on their upcoming production. We'll find out more. Plus, we have sleep tips for parents traveling with babies and toddlers. Right here Thursday, Daytime Ottawa on Rogers TV.
Celebrate Ottawa is a collection of stories for, by, and about the people, places, and rich history that make Ottawa such a vibrant place to call home. Tune in Sunday evenings at 7:30.
Welcome back to Ottawa Experts. I'm your host, Barbara Balfour, and tonight we're talking about spring cleaning for your life and for your home. We're joined in studio by guests Sue Pitchforth and Kathy Mcewan. Now, you both brought some beautiful giveaways for our viewers today. Sue, what have you got here?
So I've got a spring inspiration package, and I also have a 1-hour consultation, complimentary consultation for the lucky winner. So I'll come out and sort of give them some advice and refresh and renew their home for spring. That's
amazing. I'm jealous already. So if you want a shot at winning that, make sure you call the number on your screen and be prepared to pick up the prize at our studios at 475 Richmond Road. And Kathy, you also had a giveaway, but it's on your Facebook page. Tell our viewers a little bit about that.
Yes, so actually all they have to do is request to join Organize for Success.
Organize for Success?
Yeah, and then once they're in there, there's a post, a contest post, and all they have to do is say the word yes, that they want to win, and they have a lucky chance of winning. And what they'll win is one of my a ticket to my workshop that's coming up. They'll also win a travel organizer, and then inside this organizer will be a little surprise for them when they get it as well.
And your workshop is in Stittsville, and it's coming up soon. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's in Stittsville, and it's on March 24th. It's a Saturday, and it's from 10 o'clock till 1 p.m. And it's actually a small group. I wanted it to be more intimate, and people feel comfortable asking questions, so I'm limited to only 8 people.
Perfect. And how much is the cost?
$50.
And people can sign up for it through your Facebook page?
Yes, they can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Now, we were talking a bit about your work as a decluttering expert, and you sent us some photos that I'd like to pull up on the screen. Sure. Some befores and afters. Really powerful stuff. Yes. Do you get tears a lot in your line of work?
Absolutely. At the beginning, they're overwhelmed and embarrassed, but by the end of a session, it's usually tears of joy.
Here's a before picture. Now, this is a basement?
This is a basement, yes. And this particular client had a lot of supplies in her boxes, and she wanted it to be able to just come pick up her supplies and leave because she's a business owner. So I wanted it to be able, for her to be able to just come, grab what she needs, and go. That was my goal.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a store.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And believe it or not, her tea's all in alphabetical order, her oils are in alphabetical order, everything.
Do you know if it stayed that way? Because I know that's the biggest challenge.
Well, it is a big challenge, and she does have us come back every now and then when she feels, she's just extremely busy. So for her to keep up, it's a little harder, so she does have us come back the odd time. But that is actually a good point, which you mentioned about whether people keep up, and I would say about 50% of my clients do keep up. Once they do the homework, then they're able to keep up.
It's probably a lot like weight loss.
It is. It's exactly, you got to be motivated, you got to be ready to do it, and psyched, ready.
It's a lifestyle adjustment.
It's a lifestyle change, yes.
Now we have a caller on the line. Christina, are you there?
I am.
Hi, Christina. Thank you so much for joining us. Did you have a question for our guest?
I do, yes. So I'm a part of a family of 4, and we're quite active, and but over time we've accumulated a lot of sports equipment, both winter and summer, and it has completely taken over our garage. So I'm just wondering if you have any tips or tricks for organizing those larger items, and so hopefully I can get my garage back one day.
Great question, Kathy.
Yeah, that is a good question. And when it comes to garages, I usually recommend metal shelving that you can actually get at Home Depot. They're around $200. They're not super cheap, but they're super strong and they're big. And you can get up to 12 containers of stuff in there. So even some of the balls or something could go in there. As for the stuff that may be better to be hung in the garage, there's hooks and there's all kinds of different garage organizing systems that you can actually use where you can hang that stuff up. The idea is to try to get it off the floor and either onto shelving or onto the walls.
Or on the ceiling even, I've seen.
Yes, if they have, sometimes we have bikes hanging from ceilings. I've had clients that didn't want to use their bikes, but they didn't want to let it go yet, so we would hang them from the ceiling.
So it's all about the shelving. Anything else for garages?
Just having a good system in place so that it's off the floor. And also seeing if there's anything you could let go. If they've outgrown any of the sports equipment, then maybe they could donate those ones if that's the case.
Great question, Christina. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Let's move on to some of the other before and after pictures that you've shared with us. So we just had a look at a basement.
Yes.
You also sent us a playroom and a couple of other spaces as well.
Yeah, I think an office.
Let's see if we can pull those up. Okay, so this is a children's playroom.
Yes.
That's chaos.
Yeah. So what happened with this particular client is they just moved in. extremely busy professional again, and they had no system in place for the child to play. So the child just ended up pulling stuff out of boxes and bins and was playing with it. And you can see the child tried to decorate it by hanging some of his favorite pictures, but the parents called me in and said, we don't want it to look like this. We really want it to be more functional for their child.
So what did it look like afterwards? Oh wow, that's really nice.
Yeah, big difference, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so in this particular case, we ended up going to IKEA and we got a Calyx system. We put that together for him, and we got the bins, and I created labels for the toys so the child was not quite at the age where they could read. So we put picture for their bins and just categorized it, made sure all the Lego was with the Lego and all like items together, and then we hung his favorite pictures back up.
And you have one more space, I think, to share with us, right?
Maybe an office.
Was it an office space? Let's see if we can bring that up. Okay, yeah.
Yep, it's an office, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a few offices like that.
Yes, so this particular client had a brain injury. So this particular person was just it was very difficult to make any kind of decisions. So for her to go in there, she wasn't sure what to keep, what not to. She was just very overwhelmed. So I came in and worked with her, coaching her really through the process. And then wait till you see the next when you see the after picture. It's
wow, unrecognizable. In every single case.
Yeah,
amazing.
And she was able to keep it up.
Oh, we have another caller on the line. Emily, are you there?
Hi.
Hi, Emily. Thank you so much for watching. Did you have a question for our guest tonight?
Yeah, I was just wondering, how do you start to declutter? I still have some things packed away in suitcases from when I was living away from home, and I've been home for almost a year now, and I don't know where to start.
Emily, don't feel bad. I have stuff from boxes from like 10 years ago, so I really want to hear the answer to this question.
It's a very good question, and that's what I get asked a lot. Like, they're overwhelmed, they don't know where to start. So what you do is you really just focus on one room that you would love to see organized first. Stay in that room, don't leave it and go to another room, because sometimes you find something in that room, you take it into the kitchen, then you forget about going back to that room. So my suggestion is just stay in that room. If you start in one corner, start small. Start with a counter or a drawer, something small, and just get baby steps. Yeah, and tackle that one area first, and then you'll be more motivated to, when you see results, to move on.
How long should it reasonably take to declutter a space? Should you give yourself a timeline?
And it really depends. It's always, okay, so when a client is doing it by themselves, it always takes much longer. But I'm very happy if they even get a corner done. That's one corner more than they would have had. If they spend 20 minutes a day and just tackle one small area, you're eventually going to get that done. If you were to have somebody like myself or my teammate to come in, we can do it in 4 hours. Yeah, like within 4 hours, we can often get a room done, 4 to 6 hours, but that also depends on how much stuff they have. Yeah.
Thanks so much for joining us and for asking a question, Emily. We have a few more minutes left till the end of our segment and the end of our time together tonight, Kathy, but let's take a look at some of the props that you've brought in to show our viewers some of the things that you use to get organized.
Yes, so this is actually, I have this as well. This one here is a travel organizer, and it's that time of the year where people are planning on taking trips, get away from our winter, and this I find really handy, and you could actually use this even if you're not traveling. Easy to just slip in your purse if you're a female. And so basically what it is, it's a small storage area for keeping everything. You can put your plane tickets in here, your passport, your change, your credit cards, your debit cards, important documents, all in here. It zips up, easy to carry with you. So this is the one product that I really love. This here is files. So if you're not scanning your documents, and I highly recommend you use a filing box or a filing cabinet. So this one here is your typical hanging file folder, and inside it there is a file folder. So for this particular one, it says taxes 2016. The thing that I don't like about these one, which is what you usually see in the store, is that it's very hard to read what it is. So this one here is called a Find It one, and it's smaller, a little bit shorter, but you're able to actually see
So where can you find these items, or what should you look for when you go shopping for them?
So Staples. Staples has these, but they sell out fast because I buy them a lot for my clients. So I do recommend, if they don't have it, just ask them, and they're great. Easy to read. It's all about functionality.
And then the travel organizer is what you're giving away on your website, and your Facebook page, which is Organized for Success.
Yes.
And if people want to buy it, where can they find?
You can get this actually on Amazon. It's $20, and you can get it on Amazon. Yeah, delivered right to your door.
Sue, does any of this resonate with you in terms of the discussions you have with your clients? I mean, do you find clutter to be a topic that comes up?
Oh, absolutely. And really, clutter in regards to staging, because when I'm going in to stage someone's home, I have to actually get through the clutter so I can actually stage their home. So we do a lot of what you were just talking about. And I always suggest, take items that you don't want to use or don't want to take with you to your new place, donate them, have a yard sale. Once people get started, and I know I moved recently and I had things that have sat around for many years. So for me, it was hard to get started and motivate, but I did what you suggested, and I took one room. And it really emotionally makes you feel so much better, so much lighter. Yeah. And I don't know if your clients get that feeling, but I get that a lot, even as we're just moving things around and trying to figure out how to design or stage someone's home. The clutter really reflects, I think, what sometimes is going on in the house. Stress, illness, death, what have you. I'm a firm believer of energy in a home is throughout the home, and how the home looks, and how what's in the home and how much is in the home. So it's all interrelated for sure.
There's a reason why you have the word therapy in the name of your business.
Absolutely.
This is very therapeutic.
Yeah, it is. And just like Kathy was saying, tears of joy.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, and I don't know about you, but for me that's so gratifying to know that you've helped somebody. Yes. And that's one of the things I love about what I do. Yeah.
Kathy, we're almost at the end of our time together, so just one more time for our viewers, where can we find you?
You can find me, my website is www.secondsetofhands.ca, and I'm also on Facebook. Where else can you find me? Instagram, Pinterest.
Instagram, and a workshop coming up in Stittsville on March 25th.
24th. March 24th.
Perfect, and people can register for that on your page as well. Thank you so much, Kathy, for coming in. You've been a wealth of information and ideas. Don't go away. When we come back, we'll be meeting with wellness coach and fitness trainer Lydia DeFrancesco. We'll be right back.
The journey through life is run a little differently by everyone. The War Amps helps put a little bounce in Jericho's step.
They've given us so much. Without the War Amps, I don't know where we would be right now, to be honest with you. But just looking at him now and the way he's living, I know he's gonna go further than what I could imagine.
Always try your best and never give up.
Get ready as your favorite superhero swing into action on Channel 100. For a limited time, order Justice League on Rogers On Demand, and it'll be yours to watch early, anytime, again and again.
Watch her.
Plus, when you order as part of the combo pack on Channel 100, you'll get the Blu-ray or DVD sent right to your door when it's released.
Shall we?
All for as low as $24.99. Justice League on Rogers On Demand. Go to Channel 100 for details and watch it today.
My name is Bara Adi, and I'm a volunteer at Rogers TV. I love most about volunteering that I do give back to this community, and I love the experience I'm gaining. This is my major, and I really do love it. I do it with passion. As a newcomer, I wanted to feel that I fit in the community. It's made me more confident, and it's improved my communication skills.
I'm Paula Roy, and I'd like to invite you to join me in my kitchen each week as I share with you my favorite recipes, hints, and tips.
Welcome back to Ottawa Experts. I'm your host, Barbara Balfour. We're joined in the studio tonight to talk about spring cleaning your home and your life with guests designer Sue Pitchforth of Decor Therapy Plus, and just joined by wellness coach and personal trainer Lydia DeFrancesco. Welcome to the studio and to the show, Lydia. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We've been talking a lot about spring cleaning our homes and our basements and our kitchen drawers. We're going to switch gears in a minute and talk about spring cleaning our lives. But before we do that, I want to get into a few more of your techniques, Sue, for brightening up your home.
Sure.
We didn't have time to get through all of the photos that you had sent us in terms of some of the simple things you can do to freshening up your space when you feel like it's time for a change. Now, you had sent us some photos that maybe we could bring up. There's some photos of angling your sofa a certain way. Little accessories. Okay, so we've got that photo there of angling your sofa and how that just kind of changes everything.
It actually changes the feeling of the room, and it's funny because most people put their furniture up against walls, and once you angle the furniture, it's amazing. And when you do little things like that, it has major impact, and the homeowners love it because it looks new and fresh, and we really haven't spent any money. So it's really trying to be creative and doing something different. And when I go into a home, I tour the home top to bottom, and I will move things around. So I walk in with fresh eyes, and I may take a piece of furniture from one room into another, and it looks totally different. So most people have way too much furniture in their rooms, or too many pieces. And again, it's all about editing and decluttering. And I think for many years, you know, a lot of designers and decorators have sort of told everybody, you have to fill every space. You have to fill every space in a room or on a wall, and that's not true. So it's okay to have space, but everyone wants to fill that space. So it's like a double-edged sword, where then I come in, it's like, you know what, don't put something there. And I always, the best things that people have are in their basements or in their closets. Those are the things that mean most to them. So when we pull them up, what we're really doing is sharing their family's personality with their family and loved ones that come to their home. So I don't know if you guys have ever been into a home where you go, this is just so her, or just so the family. Then on the reverse, where you go into another home and you go, there's just no feeling here. It looks like a model home. There's no soul. It's not very warm and welcoming. So it's really, design and decorating is really all about the family and what you have and how we can make the best out of it.
Now, Sue, I want to mention again for our viewers that you're giving away this fantastic prize package. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so I thought we'd sort of tie in with the spring inspiration of refresh and renew. So I've got a little inspiration package here, and then I'm also giving a complimentary 1-hour consultation.
Amazing. So don't forget to call the number on your screen for a chance to win this amazing prize package. And Lydia, you also are giving something away.
That's right. I'm giving away 3 lifestyle coaching sessions that's a value of $449. And so I've got my gift certificate here. And yeah, so the callers can call in, and I guess one lucky person is going to win. And the goal of these coaching sessions is really to talk to people who are feeling really overwhelmed. We've talked over the course of the half hour, you guys have been talking a lot about overwhelm. It's come up a lot of times, and I help women who are overwhelmed work through different scenarios so that they can come to a place of calm and really kind of simplify or spring clean their lives, so to speak.
I just want to remind our viewers that when you do call in to win a prize, make sure you indicate which one you would like to be entered in the draw for. So now that we're shifting gears and talking a little bit about spring cleaning our lives, Many of us are so guilty of having too many things in our calendars and our schedules, just like we're guilty of having too many things in our closets and our basements. Tell me a little bit about the work that you do with your clients to kind of simplify and streamline and really look at the value of everything that they've been involved with.
Right, so a lot of the clients that I work with are so busy and have so much going on. I find it's a problem in society right now. We're overcommitting ourselves to things.
It's a trendy thing, isn't it?
It's cool to be busy. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Exactly. So I don't want to be busy, actually. That's kind of my thing right now.
You and me both.
Yeah. And I like a clear calendar, but a lot of times for people, they feel, again, overwhelmed. They don't know what to remove. So what I recommend is actually writing out a big list of every single commitment that you have, and then crossing out the things that are non-negotiables, like your job, right? You need to get paid, you need to make money. So that one you have to do. But if there's volunteer commitments, have a look at them and really evaluate them and through the lens of, is this still serving me? You know, yes, you volunteer to help others, but you also do it to get something back for yourself, and you want to make sure that you are still getting something back and that it's not feeling like a burden, because if it is feeling like a burden, it's probably flowing into what you're doing anyway, and you might be providing a negative space when you go to that volunteer thing, right? So really looking at that and seeing, and maybe it doesn't mean completely cutting something out. Maybe it means just stepping back. So I was the chair of a committee on a board, and so I stepped back as chair, but I remained as a member on the committee. So I could still be involved, but I didn't have the responsibilities of the chair. So there's always ways that you can, still be committed to a cause or something, but lessen the amount of time that it might take in your schedule.
I imagine guilt comes up a lot for both of you. Sue, how does guilt come up when you work with your clients on changing things around in their homes?
Oh, I can say 100% of the time when I go into a home, the homeowners are already apologizing because their home's not clean or doesn't have the most up-to-date furniture. They just feel it is about guilt in a strange way, and I don't know if they realize that. And I've had so many people, before I go to stage, they actually go in and clean the house because they're afraid I'm going to judge them, which is so not the case. I'm there to do my job. It's amazing how your home, your family, your life, your choices, your goals, everything is tied in. It's like this cauldron that's mixed together, and it can be very overwhelming. I mean, you just look at the kids and all the things that they do, all the, dance class, music, sports, that type of thing. They're busy, the parents are busy taking them. They don't have time to organize and clean their rooms, and they're feeling overwhelmed. It's like a big puzzle. It's like a chaos puzzle, I think. And I say every home that I go into has some form of that. And really, when I'm there, one of my jobs is to take away their stress, and it's the stress of what the house looks like, how it's decorated, how it's designed, because they're all watching the shows on TV, the HD TV shows that have the $1 million budgets. Well, they know they can't get that, but really, I never judge people when I go into their homes or what type of furniture they have. I'll actually go in and I'll say, I love that piece. And they're looking at me like I have two heads. But I explain to them where I'm coming from. And again, we were talking earlier about paint. You can paint furniture. You can paint furniture that was from the 70s, the Italian, very heavy pieces. Absolutely. And it really does breathe new life into you. I don't know how your clients feel.
Lydia, I was going to ask you, I imagine a lot of your work with clients centers around when do you say no to things and when do you say yes to things? What's your advice to them?
Well, it's so individual. Again, it comes down to, I think, what is going to bring you joy? That's a really great question to ask yourself. What's going to serve you? How are you going to benefit from doing that? And again, I say you have to say no to things sometimes to say yes to yourself. And I think people they're not saying yes to themselves enough. And then that's where they're just feeling everything swirl together, and then they become overcommitted. So saying no, again, it can be saying no with a yes. So if someone offers you an opportunity to be involved in something, you can gently say no, but you should talk to so-and-so because they would be another good person to fill that role. Or again, no, I can't be on the organizing committee for this event, but I will come and attend and show my support that way. So I think getting past that block of feeling bad that you have to say no about something and kind of not spinning it, like politically spinning it, but spin it into a positive, try and provide an alternative, try and give yourself some way to be involved without fully jumping in. But the guilt thing too, people feel so obligated to do things that they've committed to, and they don't understand that it really is okay. If they don't, someone else will step in and fill their shoes.
We've got a caller on the line. Lucy, are you there with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, Lucy. Thank you so much for watching. Did you have a question for our guest?
Yeah, I did. I was just wondering, what are some signs to look out for or some things to think about to help you figure out if you need to cut off or let go of a relationship in your life?
Great question and very timely.
Yeah, we were going to talk about that. Yeah. So some signs are that you're feeling bad about yourself. You feel negative, or you're around that person, and when you leave from being with them or being on the phone with them, you feel, ugh. Like that's the best way to describe it, right? Like, yeah, it sucks the energy. They suck the energy out of you. You have negative thoughts about yourself. You're doubting yourself. Maybe they're not supportive. Those types of things are really good signs that maybe that person is not the best person to keep into your life, keeping someone close to you.
So how do you dump them?
Well, there's a few different ways. Probably the most adult way to do it is to have a conversation with them. And it depends too. Sometimes it's not a matter of dumping them, but it's maybe setting boundaries, right? So, personal example, I had a family member going through a really tough time in their lives, and they were calling me often for emotional support. And unfortunately, I have to work and I have a job during the day, and I found it was really taking a toll on that. So I had to have a conversation with them and say, look, I'm happy to support you, but I can't talk to you during the day. We can talk at night. And that was the solution, to still be available to them, but have them not monopolizing my time.
Does that answer your question, Lucy?
Yeah, that's really helpful. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. We have a few seconds left until the end of our segment. Any final thoughts on toxic relationships before we go to break?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, just stand up for yourself. If you're feeling like somebody's treating you poorly, don't put up with it. You don't deserve that. You're worth more than that. And do something about it.
There's a quote that says you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, and obviously if some of those people are dragging you down, you need to have another look at who your entourage is.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I can't wait to hear a little bit more about how to embrace and approach the spring with our goals for 2018, and I want to hear more from you, Sue. We'll be right back. Don't go away, right after the break.
Salt. Toast is burning.
Toast is not.
Every time she has a seizure, she smells something burning. Now, if we can provoke that smell by probing the surface of the brain, we'll find the source of the seizures. Mrs. Gold, do you feel anything?
I can see the most wonderful lights.
And now what do you feel?
Did you pour cold water on my hand, Dr. Penfield?
Now what? What is it, Mrs. Gold?
Burnt toast. Dr. Penfield, I can smell burnt toast. Dr. Wilder Penfield. He cured my seizures and hundreds more. They say he drew the roadmap of the human brain. We just called him the greatest Canadian alive.
It was John's graduation. We were so proud. We all got together for a picnic. That's when we heard coming from the radio. So we stopped and we listened. It helped us get to safety. That's why when I think of John, because now he has a real future to look forward to.
Play 4 games of bingo from the comfort of your own home each Monday at 7 p.m. for your chance to win money from our $2,000 regular bingo or $5,000 super bingo night. Kiwanis TV Bingo, Mondays at 7 p.m. on Rogers TV.
There's been some talk about this, and it's going to materialize here. Chmielewski, shot scores! Shot scores! What a shot!
67's action on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Ottawa Experts. I'm your host, Barbara Balfour, and we're here in the studio to talk about how to spring clean your life and your mind with guests Sue Pitchforth and Lydia DeFrancesco. Lydia, before the break, we were talking a little bit about some of the things that you do with your clients to streamline their goals, and you've got an interesting challenge that's coming up in a few days. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I'm really excited. So I'm doing a 5-day Simplify Your Life challenge. So each day we're going to tackle a different area. So we're tackling what Kathy works on is home organization and fitness and commitments and relationships and nutrition, because I find those are 5 areas of life that people often are very overwhelmed about, or they're making it too complicated and it can be a little bit more simple. So each day it's going to be short, 30 minutes or less, an activity to do. And so
we've just pulled up the slide there, 5-day Simplify Your Life challenge. And so how do people take part? Do they go to your website?
Yeah, so they can go to www.fithealthy365/5-day Simplify challenge and enter their email address, and they will automatically be signed in.
Perfect.
Yeah, so they'll get emails each day with the instructions, and there's a worksheet as well. And I've got a private Facebook group for accountability and support, so we can all be in this together.
Perfect.
And post photos of befores and afters and that sort of thing. So I really want to show people that it can be easy to have a simpler life. It doesn't have to be too complicated, and also that it doesn't mean you have to get rid of everything in your life. Yeah. But it's just kind of streamlining and really focusing on the things that matter to you, and the things, again, that bring you joy.
And of course, a big part of that is your support system, and you also shared a slide with us on your circles of support. So that's friends, loved ones, participants in exchange. Maybe we can pull that up. So tell us a little bit about what it means, and what do we do with this information?
So you want to think about, like what the caller asked about, how do you know when there's toxic people in your life and what to do with them? You want to be thinking about these different circles of support. So you have your inner circle with your closest friends or loved ones. Then you've got your general friends. Participation, that's sort of your work or your recreational groups. And then exchange is the people that you pay to do things like your hair and that kind of stuff. And you want to think about who is in that inner circle, right? Because we talked about the average of the 5 people you spend time with. You want to make sure that those are positive people in your life, that you're not drained by those people. It can be that you have family members that are a little draining, and again, like I mentioned, try and bring some distance, set some boundaries. You obviously can't remove, well, I guess you can, but you don't necessarily want to remove family from your life, but there's ways and strategies that you can do to distance yourself from them. But what's cool is that if you look at these circles, you can think about who do you want to bring in to your more inner circle, and who do you need to move out, the people that are providing that negative energy and those that are bringing you down. And this isn't just about in person either. I find social media now can really have an impact. And what you see in your Facebook feed can really impact how you feel in a day. But the great thing is you can control that. There's little buttons where you can unfollow people. You don't necessarily have to unfriend them, but you don't have to see all the negativity. So you can kind of curate what you're seeing, who you're seeing from, and sometimes it is beneficial to actually unfollow people if you're seeing their posts and it's bringing up bad feelings in you, whether it's jealousy or you feel very like you're comparing yourself to them and it's making you feel less than. That is kind of your own issue, but you don't have to have that as a reminder all the time. So I've unfollowed people and I felt so much lighter after.
It's amazing how that manifests itself in a physical reaction. Let's talk about goal setting. Now, you sent us a slide about goals, SMART goals. Let's bring that up.
Yeah, so everyone's probably heard of SMART goals, so I wanted to just put this as a reminder for people. So we've got specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. And what I find the most common is that people don't set very specific goals, and they aren't measurable. So those are the two things. They're very broad. So for example, I do work in the wellness and healthcare space. So a lot of times people say, well, I want to be more healthy. Okay, well, what does that mean to you? Does that mean you want to exercise more? Okay, how many times per week? I want to get more sleep. What does that mean? Quantify it. Give it a number. How many hours of sleep? I want to improve my nutrition. I want to eat better. That's a very common. Okay, well, what does that mean, right? How many more servings of vegetables? So you want to make sure that your goals have the measures in place so that you know if you can be successful, so that once you are successful, you can celebrate.
And writing down your goals, right? That's really important. Otherwise, you'll say something and it'll just kind of float by you. And
sometimes what happens is when you say it, you feel like you've already achieved it, so then you don't even work that hard on it. Another thing that I like to do with my clients is have them set mini goals. Some people call them maybe milestones, because I like to help people feel really positive and that they've been successful. And sometimes when you have a very large goal, it can feel hard to reach, but if you break it down into smaller components, then you can feel like you're still making progress and moving on the right track.
Sue, I want to talk about the people who are among our viewers tonight whose goal might include selling their home. And let's maybe pull up some of the images that you shared with us earlier today in terms of some of the small things you can do to spruce up your space. So you had sent us some images of some cushions and accessories that you can use to freshen up your space. So here's a really interesting photo. Tell us about what's going on here.
This is a really great example of really just taking small things. You have patterned curtains, you've got the throw on the couch, pillows, you see in the kitchen the green bowl, and you've got different white accents. It's really just bringing something fresh into the room. I personally yesterday changed out my winter curtains to my spring-summer curtains. They're lighter. It's really about taking the heaviness of the winter away.
Very symbolic.
Yeah, very much so. And this is a really great example of accessories and how they make such a difference. So you'll see the patterned pillow. We pulled out the turquoise and put a solid pillow behind it. And you've got lots of trendy things happening. We have the printed ottoman, we've got the mirrored tray, we've got the diamond globe. And small things like that. HomeSense is great for that because you can go run in, grab a couple of pillows, just put them on the couch, and it just gives you a real fresh look. And you don't have to spend a lot of money. And when I'm staging homes, that's really what I do. I'll take in some some pillows, some art, colorful throw, and that's really all you need because you don't want to have a lot of stuff. And the great thing about stores like HomeSense and other stores is things don't have to cost a lot. There's so many great looks out there. They really interpret the trends in home decor really well. New color combinations. If you've got neutral furniture, just add some color. Purple's a big color this year. Gray, of course, is still around. Coral, some really fresh new colors. And it's amazing how they actually will lift your spirits. And it'll change the energy in your home as well.
And that really speaks to the overall theme of the show that every single one of our guests tonight has talked about in terms of you only need to make small changes to see big results. What else comes up in your work with your clients, Lydia, in terms of some of the changes that they can make that are sort of easy, that they can start on right away?
So in terms of fitness, I know we weren't really talking about that, but that's a great one for people. I really truly believe people don't move enough in their lives.
And you are a fitness trainer.
And I am a fitness trainer. Yeah, so I can't help myself but talk about it. Honestly, moving more. Just move your body. Walk. Just take the stairs a little bit more, park further away, all these things that people know to do. What it really comes down to be honest, Barbara, is it's less convenient. You have to make your life less convenient in order to move more. So the whole parking further away, that sort of thing, taking the stairs, getting off the bus one stop before your stop on your way to work, that sort of thing. It's inconvenient, it takes more time, but it's overall better for your health, right? So doing little things like that from the nutrition side, adding more vegetables in your diet, that's another easy thing you can do. There's lots of ways to sneak it in, even if you don't really like them.
It kind of sounds like your whole body is waking up after a long hibernation. It's part of the spring cleaning.
Exactly. So, and again, just kind of looking, I think what people should be doing is looking at your life as a whole and really just saying where are the areas that are not making me happy, bringing me joy, and then focusing on that and looking at how you can actually make small changes, and really truly believing that you can make your life better. That you don't. I think a lot of people feel stuck in their situations,
or we forget why we're here.
Yeah, and I really want to give people hope that it can be better, that life doesn't have to suck, you know? Life can be great, you can be happy. Yes, there's going to be stress, yes, there's going to be heartache and difficult situations, but it shouldn't feel like a slog every single day. If it does, please come talk to me. I want to help because I really believe that people can have more joy in their lives and feel more fulfilled.
Absolutely. We have a few minutes left before the end of our show. Sue, you've got a few appearances coming up.
I do, actually. I'm going to be at the Ottawa Home Show. I'm going to be speaking on Sunday, March 25th from 3 to 4 on the main stage. And for this segment, I'm going to be talking about decorating your outdoor room. And that's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of great before and after photos. Again, lots of inspiration, using perhaps some things that people have in their garage or their basement that they never really would think to bring outside.
And we're also going to see you on Daytime next week?
Next Tuesday, yes.
And what will you be talking about?
I'll be talking about staging.
Okay.
Yes, getting your home ready for sale for spring.
Wonderful. So one last time, you're giving away this fantastic package to our viewers. Don't forget to call the number on your screen to win that 613-759-8622 and mention which prize you would like to be entered in the draw for. Lydia, you're also giving away a fantastic prize. It's a gift certificate for 3 coaching sessions. Wonderful. Yeah. And where else can we find you?
So I'm basically everywhere on social media. I'm online, fithealthy365.com. I've got a lot of blogs and articles that I share, and I'm on Facebook, Instagram, primarily those two, at fithealthy365.
And do you have any other events coming up other than the Simplify Your Life Challenge this Monday?
Any events coming up? I don't think so, not yet.
You just came back from a retreat.
I was just at a retreat in Costa Rica, that I had posted. So I'm sure there will be something soon. I'm always hosting events here in Ottawa.
Great. So. And the best way to learn more about you is on your Facebook page?
Facebook or my website, yeah.
Wonderful. Well, we have 1 minute left. Any final thoughts, Sue?
I find tonight was really interesting because as both the girls were talking, I'm going yes, yes, yes. Even in my personal life, I can relate to a lot of what was said around the table. So certainly in my professional life as well, that when I visit clients, I hear and see so much of this. And it's really interesting because it's really making choices in all of these parts of our life, professionally, what are you going to eat and how are you going to act? And I find listening to you, taking a look at who is in your life, that's so important.
And we don't pay enough attention to that.
And that reflects in every part of our life because you go home to your home and be with your family, and if you're unhappy, they feel it.
And we're just at the end of our show. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies. We're back in the studio every Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Have a good night.